the day you pick up weights is the day you will never be as big as you want to be.
Hell yeah.
And like that stuck with me forever, man.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I mean, I look at pictures of myself from 3 years ago, and I look like massive compared to that guy, but I'm still so small. And every time I look at the mirror, I'm like, dude, I'm this fucking small dude. So yeah, man, I've thought about it.
I remember we were thinking about talking about what was it, body dysmorphia.
Oh yeah.
That's one big problem of mine.
I'm sure.
That's what made me really get on steroids.
Really?
Was body dysmorphia. Yeah, I have body dysmorphia.
What were you telling yourself in that? What was your brain telling yourself, but in the moments, or in the days and months leading up to that decision to take it? What did you think about your body? What were you?
I'm not gonna get to my, best potential unless I get on this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because your body can only, it has this. I think it's this gene that will like stop you from building too much size or putting too much size on you. I can't think of the gene. Ronnie Coleman has a gene that it's like
it prohibits him from getting more size, essentially. What is his body trying to protect itself because it knows it can't hold that much weight? Or
he has this gene where it's like he doesn't have as much of it, so he can build more muscle. And some people that have this gene that don't have enough of it to be able to stop you from getting, an unnatural size.
Yeah.
I can't think of the name.
Let's look that up.
It's Ronnie Coleman's.
Ronnie Coleman gene.
Is,
What helps this guy? What cheat code does he have here?
Because he was natural in his pro debut. He was natural. I'm pretty sure. That's
one
of the
crazy,
only bodybuilders I know that got pro natural.
Yeah, well, it's interesting with because with bodybuilding specifically, dude, and like the male physique, right? Your muscle inserts, like how big your muscles naturally sit, can be a ceiling for some people too.
Yeah,
and just your bones,
your bone structure having wide clavicles, or narrow clavicles.
Exactly. I mean, like yourself, right? Like I don't know what your wingspan is, but you said you're 6'2".
Yeah.
Is your wingspan longer than your height?
Yeah, it's probably around at least 6'3".
Because that's my issue. Yeah. So like I'm 5'10", my wingspan's like almost 6 foot.
Yeah,
so it's like which is super helpful for basketball.
Yeah.
Sucks balls when you get on the bench.
Oh, 100%.
Your bench it's way easier for my homies that were wrestling with their fucking little tiny ass arms to fucking rep that shit out. Chests are massive.
Exactly.
Me, I got I can't wobbly skinny arms.
I had the same way, bro. I've always had a problem with bench press.
So it's like that's the thing. There's so many genetics, and I think it's interesting that you bring up like you kind of had those thoughts and those doubts of like I'm not going to reach my potential unless I do this, because that's a lot of guys have felt that. A lot of guys still feel that, and it's tough too. I think specifically in bodybuilding because we're putting so much emphasis on specifically how things look.
Yeah.
And then when you take into account like Instagram and now YouTube, fitness influencers are huge, man, and they're fucking.
They're all on gear too.
They're all on, bro.
They're all on gear,
dude.
Even if they lie, they're all on gear. Even females, bro. A lot of females.
I've been seeing that.
Gear,
I've been
bro.
seeing and hearing that. Yeah.
I've known a few females that competed that were on stuff.
Yeah.
And they were open about talking to me about it. Maybe not everyone else, but they knew I was open.
Yeah.
So like, that's why I'm open about gear and performance enhancing use, because I know people that are gonna need someone to talk to.
Yeah.
They're gonna come, to me.
Yeah.
And talk to it because they know like I'm open about it on social media.
Yeah. Well, I think being
honest
about it is probably the most important thing you can do.
Yeah.
Because think about when you were in that moment and you were thinking about maybe taking it or not taking it.
Yeah.
There's probably people maybe you were looking up to or people on social media that like you're like, can I like did he get that big without it? There's no way. And like you're second guessing. And it is kind of this like hush hush thing where like no one wants to admit who's doing it and who isn't doing it. And I do think that's dangerous. I think everybody should say if they are or they aren't, because obviously there's someone else the same size working out same amount as me essentially who is on that is going to look different than I look.
Exactly.
And that could fuck with someone like that could fuck with my head. And I'm like,
think
dude,
about these 18-year-olds, trying to figure out if these people are on shit and not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, there's 18-year-olds that are hopping on stuff, And
That's
I don't
crazy.
believe, you know, I think when you turn around, turn to 21, you know, maybe you could hop on it. I was 23, but maybe not 18.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
See what your body's
it's
gonna
hard
do.
on people's mental health because, you know, they're not telling the truth.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
know,
that's the biggest thing is when you're
and
not
I'm
being
all about
honest.
mental health.
Yeah.
So, you know, I try to stay open about it and let people know, you know,
Yeah.
like even if there's younger kids coming up and talking to me,
Yeah.
you know, maybe, you know, depending on what their age, you know, if they're 18, I'll let them know, and I would tell them not to. You know,
Yeah.
I would always usually tell people like not to, but if they're open about it and they're really serious about thinking about getting on it, you know, I'm willing to talk to them.
Yeah.
You know,
And they should find. I think maybe especially if you're young, you should probably find what your ceiling is without it first.
exactly,
You know.
exactly.
Try to really and be honest with yourself because a lot of people are going to think, well, dude, I work out hard every day and I do that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, is your diet where it needs to be every day? Are you always consistent with it?
Mhm.
Are you always really pushing yourself as hard as you can? You know, all these other things. So like maybe look inward first before we look, you know, outward to be
That
like, oh,
was-
maybe I need this.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. I was 10 years in.
Yeah.
You know, I hit
You've
that
been doing.
10-year
You've been
mark.
working out since you were in 5th grade, bro.
Mhm.
You were even more than 10
Yeah,
years in.
exactly. So I was just like, I think it's maybe time, you know, at least to try it and experiment with it.
Yeah.
You know, and if I want to try it, if I want to like,
So lift weights for
keep-
10 years, then take.
that's what
Then
I
get
mean.
on.
Yeah, you know, it takes time to build size. You know, you have to be patient.
Thanks for watching that last video, guys. Click right over here to see the episode in its entirety. Or click over here to subscribe and check out all the other cool shit we have on the channel. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Do it.